Hello, my fellow Kenyans. Gakonga, your coach and the pioneer of Vision Total Football Kenya. Today, I want us to talk about Chapa Dimba tournament that is sponsored by Safaricom. Before 2011, Safaricom had a similar tournament that they used to sponsor, and it was called Sakata Ball. But in 2011, Safaricom said that it was not happy. There was no transparency in FKF, and Safaricom was not happy in the manner that this tournament was organized, the Sakata Ball tournament. So they left it. But the good thing is that in 2017, Safaricom came back and they decided to sponsor a new tournament now, the one we know, Chapa Dimba tournament. Now, this Chapa Dimba tournament, I want to say this. Chapa Dimba tournament is a county's tournament, and it should be organized by grassroots teams without involving FKF. All counties should have a system how they organize Chapa Dimba tournament, so that it is the counties that benefit from Chapa Dimba sponsorship money. This 100 million should go to the counties. Should go to different counties. And that, it should go to the teams that are involved. From the beginning of the tournament, every team that takes part in this tournament should get something out of it. Yes, it might be maybe 50,000 at the beginning. Then it goes to 60,000, 70,000, 100,000, depending on the levels that are there, until it gets to the semi-final, and then to the final that takes and then to the final. So the teams should get something as long as the team is involved at the beginning of the tournament. It should get something, and then it goes up. The money will increase as the level, as the levels goes up until the final. That is how it should happen. There is no point for a team getting involved, and then when they get to go to the next level, they don't even have money, or they cannot travel to the tournament. This is something that need to be taken very serious. I saw a team in Kajiado called Al Ale, and it is a very good team. But when this team was going for their semi-final, in their regional, regional round, they actually could not travel, and the county of Kajiado came in and gave the team money to facilitate the travel. But this is really sad, because Safaricom check is very big, 100 million, and yet a team at the grassroots takes a place in this tournament when the team has to go to the regional level. Only a few teams get to the regional level, but this team from Kajiado could not go to the regional level because of the travel problem, lack of money. So the county sponsored it, but I would like to see this tournament money utilized well, so it can facilitate the entire tournament, and that the teams that take place in this tournament must have good experience in this tournament. So this one, I fault FKF. In fact, FKF should put 50 million when Safaricom puts 100 million. 150 million should be good enough to do Chapa Dimba tournament. FKF should not just wait that it does not put anything in this grassroots football. It just waits for Safaricom to put something in this Chapa Dimba tournament. So, but for me, the Chapa Dimba tournament should be organized by all the counties, come together, come with a formula, organize Chapa Dimba tournament, so that it is the grassroots team that takes part benefit through this money. FKF should not make money out of it. FKF should not make profit out of it. And I know 2017, the two teams that won came to London to visit Wanyama. But my question is, how much money was used in this London travel? And would this money have been better used to facilitate grassroots teams? Because it is not okay to have misplaced priorities. It is important that we put money where it matters. So for me, maybe it was a good idea, but this should not be decided by FKF what is going to happen, at the final, what is going to happen to the team. Let the counties take part, let the teams take part, and see what are they going to do with their money when it gets to the final. Because the team might have a good idea to do with the money when it gets to the final. Maybe they want to to buy kits, and maybe have a small, something about the team. I want the teams to have independence, to have independence to decide what they want to do with what is duly theirs, the money, the rewards from winning. Let FKF get its hand out of everything in Kenyan football. Let the teams at the country at the counties decide what they're going to do with the money, how they're going to organize this tournament, so that every team that is involved gets something small, and then as the team goes up, as the competition goes up, the reward increases. This is how we grow football. We cannot stay only at the semi-final or the regional level and then the national level, that those are the teams that are going to get the money. Those other teams, they don't have the money, and it is it is not good to get them involved in this tournament. Teams put a lot of effort in this tournament, then they cannot even have money to travel to go to the next stage of the tournament. This is a big problem with FKF. This tournament should be planned and well facilitated, and money put aside for the teams that get to the regional level, those which will get to the national level. The planning is poor from FKF, and I want them to hand this tournament over to the counties to organize it themselves. So every team that is involved in different county will get something out of it. Now, next thing, the team that won, the girls team that won 2017, this Chapa Dimba tournament, which is called Plateau Queens, it was from Nyakach in Kisumu, and the men's team was called Kapenguria Heroes from West Pokot. Today, where are these very good teams? Where are the players from these two good teams? I don't know. But what I know is that our league is not, our league system does not facilitate well talents, that does not give opportunities. We see good teams coming, playing Chapa Dimba. Thereafter, because this is age 16 to 20, we don't know where these players go. At least if someone can get to the final of Chapa Dimba, like this team from West Pokot, Kapenguria Heroes, it should, at least few players should be somewhere good by now. And then the girls, the Kitale Queens from Rift Valley, they should be at least somewhere, these girls. This is wrong. Now let us go to 2018. Again, 2018 is Kitale Queens. Let me get this right. And 2017 is Plateau Queens from Nyakach in Kisumu. Now, the men team, I have already said, Kapenguria Heroes from West Pokot in 2017 were the winners. And then in 2018, men's team was Manyata United from Nyanza. So it is telling you there's a lot of talent, in Kenya. Every county, they work very hard for this Chapa Dimba tournament. But we need to think how our league can facilitate all these talents. Yeah, this idea of just having a tournament that comes and go, it is not good. It cannot be used to nurture talents. Yet, yes, tournaments have their places, but tournaments cannot be used to nurture talents. What we need is a robust league system in Kenya to facilitate youth football. Now, number two, let's talk about again the tournament. I want to see this Chapa Dimba tournament organized in a different way so that it becomes age relevant. Instead of having a bracket here that 16 to 20, you have a team and 15 to 20 years of age. This is wrong. We need to make it age relevant. We have under 16, under 17, under 18, under 19, under 20. This is the way to facilitate Chapa Dimba tournament. I know even Safaricom would like this idea, how the Chapa Dimba tournament is organized. It must become age relevant. Therefore, when you play a team that has 16-year-old and a 20-year-old, you are disadvantaging the youth who is 16. Let us have age-based. That's how we grow youth football. Age-based, or it is called age-relevant competitions. This idea of grouping 16 to 20 years of age in a team, it is not good. It is not even advisable at that age. So FKF mumelala. You are asleep. You are not thinking. Leadership of FKF is dead. I will say something else again. This idea of players coming from schools and then ending up to Kenya Premier League is a bad idea. I said it before. The idea of players coming from school and then you find them 1 or 2 years later, they are in Kenyan Premier League. The development is not good enough. We have to have a better way of progressive development for youth. I talked about John Avire. You know John Avire, yeah? From, from high school, then to a KPL, then in Egypt. Now, you know about Blackberry Odhiambo, the same system. From school, 1 year here and there, in KPL, that's it. This player will never get to their to their full potential. Those players who are coming from school and then you find them in KPL, then you find somewhere else, then they're back home. They never will get to their full maximum potential. We need to have a league. We need to have a better way to progressively develop this youth. It is not a joke to play in a Premier League, and we think that we have good coaches in schools to nurture players to go straight into Kenyan Premier League. Tunajidanganya. And again, I will say that the federation, the blame lies squarely with the federation. Who else do you expect to come with good ideas to develop football in a country? No one except the federation. So they need to stop shifting blame to government, to coaches, to schools, to everyone. Federation leadership is the problem. Now, I want also to talk about, it is a tragedy really, this school, players from school going to Kenya Premier League direct. It is wrong and very wrong. I want to talk about a project that was called All Stars project that was done in 2017 by Safaricom. I said then, FKF is putting Kenya in a very dangerous place because every project seems to be run by a betting company in Kenya or another sponsor like this Chapa Dimba. If Safaricom today stops sponsoring Chapa Dimba, that age group will not be able to play football in Kenya. Again, we have the Coca-Cola school football. Again, if Coca-Cola exit from that, there will be no school football. Let us go back to what I said. 2017, the All Stars team that you know, that was paraded on Kenyan TV. It went to play in different places in Hull City. It went to play in India and all of that. This team, how many players that were in All Stars, that team today we see in Kenyan football? Where are they? How did they benefit with all that tour around? And today I know some of them wanachoma mahindi huko Nairobi. So let's be serious. Let us develop our football properly so that those youths who get this kind of opportunity, at least they end up somewhere. And this is why it is concerning me with Chapa Dimba. It is happening every year. But after that, we don't know what happens to this youth. We are wasting a lot of talents, girls' talent, boys' talent. I see them in Chapa Dimba. Grassroots football is finished. FKF cannot find a way to facilitate grassroots football. Big problem, my fellow Kenyans. Now, these All Stars, like I said, again, I wanted to know where did all the All-Stars players went. We were told that we are nurturing them to take us to the 2021, AFCON, to take us to 2022 World Cup. Yeah, we were told all this story, 2026 World Cup. We don't know where they went. Now we have another group of youth housed in Nairobi in a place called Dome. They came there as 13-year-old. Now they're under 16. We are told they'll take us to the World Cup 2026. Hizi stories are FKF zinakujaga every day. Like I said again, we had a company called Mafro, a sponsor that was going to sponsor to sponsor Harambee Stars jersey. Company called Mafro 2017. We saw it paraded on Kenyan TVs. Today, our national team does not have a kit. We are having to buy kits as taxpayers. So where did this Mafro company went? So stories that we hear with FKF, promises and lies, so many, and nothing happens. But my concern is that everything that happens in Kenya, it is a project initiated by a betting company or a sponsor. What is the function of the federation? This method is killing our Kenyan football, and our football has not been developing for a very long time. And I say FKF is to be blamed for everything. It has totally failed. If you don't believe me, you tell me, look back for the last 10 years. What has developed in matters football? We keep being told the stories of Harambee Star and Starlet. Football in Kenya is not about Harambee Stars. We want to hear the rest of football in Kenya where FKF never talks about. They just talk about Harambee Stars and Starlet. That is only 3% of Kenyan football. Tell us about the 97% of Kenyan football that we never hear. Those are the areas we want to hear. What is the plan? What is the plan? What is Nick Mwendwa's plan? What is the vision for the Kenya's football? Not from Vision Total Football Kenya. We have a great vision for Kenyan football. But from FKF, what is their vision for Kenyan football? The 4 years gone. And now this regime want to come back again to do what, and what is their vision? The last thing before I go, I want to talk about Harambee Stars. The camp that Harambee Stars was staying in France, I talked about it and I said the climate was 19 degrees in France. In Egypt, then it was 30 degrees huko. So I said it is better this Harambee Stars team would have even trained in Kenya or even in Tanzania, just like Tanzania did. They trained in Africa, yeah, and they went to Egypt, and whatever happened, happened. Kenya, we leave a place where there is good climate in Africa or even in Kenya, and then we go to Egypt where it's 19 degrees. And then when we go to Egypt there, the climate is so hot. So what was this about? Or was it just an idea to spend taxpayers' money that Uhuru gave FKF and Harambee Stars? Sometimes I don't actually understand what happens when it comes to management and thinking. As soon as FKF has the money, it just goes finish. So I want to say this: there are serious issues to address within our federation, but I don't want to talk so much today. I live in peace. I'm gone.